Welcome back, everyone.
Today we're tackling a question we get asked all the time.
How do I speak English naturally?
Not just correctly, but naturally.
Like a native speaker would.
Because there's a big difference between textbook English and real English.
You can know all the grammar rules and have perfect pronunciation.
But still sound robotic or unnatural.
So today we're going to break down what makes English sound natural.
And more importantly, how you can develop that natural flow.
Let's start with a simple example.
Imagine someone says, I am going to go to the store.
That's grammatically perfect.
Every word is pronounced clearly.
But it sounds stiff and formal.
Now, listen to how a native speaker would actually say it.
I'm going to go to the store.
Hear the difference?
The second version flows naturally.
It uses contractions and reductions.
It sounds like real conversation.
That's what we're aiming for.
So, what makes speech sound natural?
It's a combination of several things.
First, there's rhythm and stress.
English has a specific rhythm that makes it flow.
Second, there's connected speech.
Words blend together rather than being separated.
Third, there's intonation.
The rise and fall of your voice.
And fourth, there are natural expressions and fillers.
The little words and phrases that natives use constantly.
Let's break each of these down.
Starting with rhythm and stress.
English is what we call a stress-timed language.
That means some syllables are stressed and others are not.
The stressed syllables come at regular intervals.
And the unstressed syllables get squeezed in between.
This creates a rhythm, almost like music.
In English, we stress content words.
Content words are the important words that carry meaning.
Nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverbs.
We don't stress function words.
Function words are the little grammatical words.
Articles, prepositions, auxiliary verbs, pronouns.
Let me give you an example.
I went to the store to buy some milk.
The stressed words are went, store, buy, milk.
The unstressed words are I, to, the, to, some.
So it sounds like, I went to the store to buy some milk.
Notice how the stressed words stand out.
And the unstressed words are quick and reduced.
This is crucial for sounding natural.
If you stress every word equally, you sound like a robot.
I went to the store to buy some milk.
That's not how natives speak.
We create a rhythm by stressing the important words.
And reducing the less important ones.
Now let's talk about connected speech.
In natural English, words flow together.
We don't pause between every word.
Instead, we link sounds from one word to the next.
This is called linking or connected speech.
There are several types of linking.
First, consonant to vowel linking.
When a word ends in a consonant and the next word starts with a vowel.
The consonant links to the vowel.
For example, an apple sounds like an apple.
Turn it off. Sounds like tur-ne-toff.
The words blend together smoothly.
Second, we have contractions.
Contractions are when we combine two words into one.
I am becomes I am.
Do not becomes don't.
I will becomes I'll.
Natives use contractions constantly in casual speech.
If you don't use them, you sound overly formal.
Third, we have reductions.
Reductions are when we pronounce words in a shorter, weaker form.
Going to becomes gonna.
Want to becomes wanna.
Got to becomes gotta.
Have to becomes have to.
These aren't slang or incorrect,
They're how natives naturally speak.
even in professional settings.
Now, you don't have to use these when you speak.
But you need to understand them when you hear them.
Otherwise, you'll miss what people are saying.
Let's move on to intonation.
Intonation is the melody of speech,
It's how your voice rises and falls.
and it's incredibly important for sounding natural.
The same sentence can have different meanings depending on intonation.
For example, you're coming to the party.
If your voice falls at the end, it's a statement.
You're coming to the party.
If your voice rises at the end, it's a question.
You're coming to the party.
Same words, different meaning.
In general, statements have falling intonation,
Questions have rising intonation.
but there are exceptions.
What questions usually have falling intonation?
Where are you going?
The voice falls on going.
Yes, no questions have rising intonation.
Are you coming?
The voice rises on coming.
Intonation also expresses emotion.
Excitement, surprise, boredom, sarcasm.
All of these are conveyed through intonation,
If your intonation is flat, you sound monotone.
and that makes you sound unnatural or even rude.
So practice varying your intonation.
Make your voice go up and down naturally.
Now let's talk about filler words.
These are words like, like, you know.
Many learners think they should avoid these completely.
But actually, natives use them all the time.
They serve important functions in conversation.
They give you time to think.
They make your speech sound more natural and conversational.
They show you are engaged in the conversation.
The key is to use them naturally, not excessively.
And our hesitation sounds.
We use them when we're thinking of what to say next.
I think, we should probably leave soon.
Like is used for approximation or examples.
It was like 10 o'clock when I got home.
You know, is used to check understanding or create connection.
It's really important, you know, to practice every day.
These fillers make you sound more fluent, not less.
Because they show you're thinking in English, not translating.
Now, let's talk about natural expressions.
Natives don't speak in textbook sentences.
We use phrasal verbs, idioms, and conversational phrases.
Phrasal verbs are everywhere in casual English.
Get up, come over, figure out, put off.
These are more natural than their formal equivalents.
Instead of postpone, we say put off.
Instead of understand, we say figure out.
Learning common phrasal verbs is essential.
Idioms are also common, but be careful with these.
Some idioms are used frequently,
It's raining cats and dogs. Piece of cake. Break a leg.
but some are outdated or regional.
So, focus on the most common ones first.
Conversational phrases are also important.
These are the little expressions we use to respond and react.
No way. For real? That's crazy. I know, right?
These make you sound engaged and natural.
Instead of just saying yes or I agree,
You can say absolutely, or totally, or for sure.
these small changes make a big difference.
Now let's talk about common mistakes to avoid.
The first mistake is over-pronouncing every word.
Learners often try to pronounce every word perfectly and clearly.
But that's not how natives speak.
We reduce, we link, we blend words together.
So don't be afraid to let words fill into each other.
The second mistake is speaking too slowly.
Slow speech can actually sound less natural.
because it breaks the rhythm of English.
You don't need to speak fast,
But you do need to maintain a natural pace.
with appropriate pauses in the right places.
The third mistake is using overly formal language.
Learners often use words they learned from textbooks.
But natives use simpler, more casual language.
Instead of I am extremely fatigued, say I'm really tired.
Instead of I must depart now, say I gotta go.
Match your language to the situation,
Formal language is fine in formal situations.
but in casual conversation, keep it simple and natural.
The fourth mistake is translating directly from your native language.
Every language has its own patterns and expressions.
What sounds natural in your language might sound strange in English.
So try to think in English, not translate.
This takes time, but it's crucial for natural speech.
Now let's talk about practice techniques.
The best way to develop natural speech is through shadowing.
Shadowing means listening to native speakers and repeating immediately.
You're mimicking their rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation.
Find a video or podcast with clear speech.
Listen to a sentence, then repeat it exactly as you heard it.
Try to match the speed, the rhythm, the emotion
This trains your mouth and your brain.
to produce natural English patterns.
Another great technique is recording yourself.
Record yourself speaking, then listen back.
Compare it to native speakers.
Where do you sound different?
Is your rhythm off?
Is your intonation flat?
Are you stressing the wrong words?
Identifying these issues is the first step to fixing them.
Of course, conversation practice is essential.
You need to actually use English in real conversations.
This is where you apply everything you've learned.
Find language partners, join conversation groups, or hire a tutor.
The more you speak, the more natural you'll become.
Finally, try to think in English.
This is the ultimate goal,
When you think in English, you stop translating.
and your speech becomes much more natural.
Start small.
Narrate your day in English in your head.
I'm making coffee. Now I'm checking my phone.
Simple things like that.
Over time, thinking in English will become automatic.
And your speaking will transform.
Let's summarize the key points.
Natural English has rhythm and stress.
Stress the important words. Reduce the others.
Use connected speech.
Link words together. Use contractions and reductions.
Vary your intonation.
Make your voice rise and fall naturally.
Use filler words appropriately.
They make you sound more fluent and natural.
Learn common expressions and phrasal verbs.
These are what natives actually use.
Avoid overpronouncing and speaking too formally.
Match your language to the situation
Practice through shadowing, recording, and conversation.
and try to think in English.
Remember, sounding natural takes time,
You won't master it overnight.
but with consistent practice, you'll get there.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Mistakes are how you learn.
And don't be too hard on yourself.
Even natives don't speak perfectly all the time.
The goal is communication, not perfection.
So relax, practice, and enjoy the process.
Your challenge for this week.
Choose one aspect we discussed today.
Maybe it's using contractions more.
Maybe it's working on your intonation.
Maybe it's learning 5 common phrasal verbs.
Whatever it is, focus on that one thing.
Practice it consciously until it becomes natural.
Then move on to the next thing.
That's how you build natural speech, one step at a time.
Let's also give you some specific resources.
For shadowing practice, we recommend YouTube channels like Easy English.
They have street interviews with real people.
The speech is natural and the subtitles help you follow along.
For phrasal verbs, check out English with Lucy.
She has great videos on common phrasal verbs.
For intonation practice, Rachel's English is excellent.
It breaks down the melody and rhythm of American English.
If you prefer British English, English with Lucy is great for that too.
For conversation practice, apps like HelloTalk or Tandem work well.
You can find language partners for free.
Or if you want structured lessons, try italki or Cambly,
The investment in conversation practice is worth it.
because that's where you really develop natural speech.
One more important point.
Different English-speaking countries have different patterns.
American English, British English, Australian English.
They all have slightly different rhythms and expressions.
So choose one to focus on initially.
Don't try to mix them all at once.
Once you're comfortable with one, you can explore others.
But having one clear model makes learning easier.
Also, pay attention to register.
Register means the level of formality.
How you speak to your boss is different from how you speak to your friends.
Natural speech means matching your language to the situation.
With friends, you can be casual, use slang, be playful.
In professional settings, you're still natural but more polished.
You'll still use contractions and natural rhythm.
But you avoid very casual expressions and slang.
Learning to adjust your register is part of sounding natural.
Because natives do this automatically.
We speak differently in different contexts.
And you should too.
One final tip about building confidence.
Many learners are afraid to sound natural.
They worry about making mistakes,
They stick to safe textbook English.
but actually holds you back.
You need to take risks to improve.
Try that new expression you learned.
Use that contraction even if you're not sure.
Experiment with intonation.
Yes. You'll make mistakes.
But that's how you learn what works and what doesn't.
And honestly, most natives won't even notice small mistakes.
They'll just be impressed that you're speaking English.
So be brave, be bold, and be natural.
Thanks so much for watching.
If you found this helpful, let us know in the comments.
And subscribe for more English learning content.
We'll see you in the next video.
Until then, keep practicing.
And remember, natural speech comes with time and practice.
You've got this.